Hi, I'm Carson Sells, and I'm going to be doing an art analysis of The Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali.
Persistence of Memory by Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali's painting, The Persistence of Memory, produced a visual aspect of surrealism, with the use of a variety of shapes and lines featured in the artwork. It represents time in a realistic manner and shows the thin line between reality and our subconscious. This is Salvador Dali. He is the artist of the painting. He is very famous for his works of art. Description. The Persistence of Memory is a painting. It was created with oil paints and bronze. It was created on a small scale of 0.9 by 1.1. It is a 2D representational painting. In person, the painting is very small. In photos I've seen compared humans to the paintings, it's just very small in scale. And the elements of design that can be found in this painting is lines, texture, color, and shape. The lines that are featured in the painting are rippled and cause for a melting effect of the clocks, making them look like they're disappearing. And in the texture, the strokes he used in the painting allows for like a melting and fading away effect of the clocks too. And the colors that are used are many different variety of colors. It's many different shades that are used and featured throughout. It's many different like browns and yellows, which allows for like a warm color and a more like brighter tone. And then the shapes is he uses many different organic shapes in this painting, allowing for like a more dreamlike look. And the painting features a realistic background that includes melting clocks, ants, and a tree. It gives the effect of time ceasing to exist. The visual qualities included are various different textures and colors used throughout the piece. It allows for a more surrealistic look of the painting. And if you can see the very different shades of brown and yellow that's used, and it gives you this look like the sun's coming up. And during this time period, The Persistence of Memory is a contemporary piece of artwork. It properly represents the time period. In 1931, Surrealism was becoming very popular and artists began to explore their consciousness through the art. The Persistence of Memory can now be found in the Museum of Modern Art. The painting was donated through an anonymous patron in 1934. This piece came out during a time period where surrealism was becoming like a very big trend, and it was becoming very popular throughout artwork, and you can see that through time. Analysis of The Persistence of Memory. There are many different principles of design that can be found throughout this piece, but the main ones that are found are repetition, movement, balance, and emphasis. The central part of the painting is repetition of the melting clocks, which are helping support the meaning of time. And then the background of this piece allows for a positive and peaceful theme and creates a dreamy atmosphere. Because the background of this piece is very nature, and it's mountains and the ocean, and it allows for a more calming theme and tone. There are no directional forces featured in the art, but people's eyes tend to give the most attention to the clocks because the clocks are the main piece, and they allow for the theme to be properly projected. And the colors that are represented are a shift from light to dark in the artwork, since the clocks and everything are in the shadows, and then out in the back with the mountains, everything is the sun, and it makes it give the look like the sun is rising. Interpretation of The Persistence of Memory. The meaning behind The Persistence of Memory is to reflect on the average human's concept of time. We view time as precious and valuable in our daily lives. Dali is trying to bring light to how useless it is in our daily lives, because in the time we have to spend, we tend to be rushed and occupied. In the painting, he is breaking the barrier between reality and the subconscious. The meaning behind the painting was well received by the audience due to the clocks melting and losing their purpose in the painting. People's assumptions about the painting surrounding the concept of time and loss of memory. Yes, the title is important in being able to describe the artwork. It is able to show how time cannot be slowed or stopped and can be found a persistent path throughout life. The title, The Persistence of Memory, could also be reflecting on the idea of our subconscious. Quote, the dripping watches and deformed faces in this painting certainly look like an unalloyed expression of the subconscious. End quote. The elements and principles of design are able to support the central idea of the artwork by the lines, shapes, and colors used. They allow for the theme of time freezing and losing its meaning with the way the clocks look like they are melting. Formal theory. The Persistence of Memory shows a good reflection of self-expression and the opinion of the artist. Dali would force himself to enter states of hallucination to create inspiration for this artwork. He even claimed to paint in a kind of Quote, he even claimed to paint in a kind of self-induced hallucinatory state, which he called his paranormic critical method, enabling him to systemize confusion and thus discredit completely the world of reality. End quote. He did this to be able to get a better concept of what he wanted to paint, and he did it for inspiration. Also, in his past, Dali was seen as an outcast, and he never had a really good relationship with his family, and this can be seen throughout his work, and it's a big piece of him, and it can be seen throughout the persistence of memory. And due to these experiences of his family and the hallucination states, he portrayed the painting as a dreamlike appearance in this piece. Contextual theory. The painting reflects a dreamlike scenario referred to Einstein's theory of relativity, which describes the distortion of time and space. Dali was referencing how clocks are losing their importance in our daily society after Einstein's discoveries. The persistence of memory is a surrealistic painting, and during the era it was created was during the Surrealist movement. Innovative artists were exploring their self-conscious in their own works. Expressive theory. The persistence of memory expresses the distortion of time and the effect time has on the universe melting away. Time has such a powerful influence over humans and our daily lives that creates feelings that humans never have enough time. Through his art, he is trying to reflect how unimportant time is by showing the clocks disappearing and losing their importance. Conclusion. The Persistence of Memory is a well-known painting that reflects surrealism and strong use of line and shapes. This artwork reflects the time period and era it was created by visualizing the consciousness of one's mind and the disappearance of time. This is my citation page. As my art analyst of The Persistence of Memory. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. And if you need me to send the slideshow to you, I can.